Took a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite. In honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you. I feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, come together, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, we come together, come together, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love.
Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in Santa Rosa. I am Russ Laguerre. I'm your assistant minister, and I'm delighted to be with you today. And can we share some more love with our incredible band? There's a good chance that every person at some point in their life wonders, what exactly is life supposed to be about? And it's a question that lingers in the back of the mind, doesn't it? Now, our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, he shared a possible answer when he said, life is not something to be endured. It is to be lived with joy in a fullness without limit. Whether you're in the room or you're watching online, please know that you are welcome here, where we embrace all of life by honoring equity, diversity, and inclusion. Now, please join me in reading out loud our mission. The Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual community that promotes global transformation through personal transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. We are motivated by a compelling global vision that inspires us to bring the gifts of compassion, integrity, and loving kindness to the world through our programs and teaching. Together, we are helping create a world that works for everyone. And we tap into our purpose in life through our 5 spiritual practices. And would you please read those out loud with me? Spiritual study, affirmative prayer, meditation, selfless service, spiritual circulation. Our community exists because of your selfless service. And this month, we're highlighting the service of our dedicated Board of Trustees. To hold our community in trust is a sacred privilege. It means taking an expanded view of all that goes into our center being a welcoming home for all who wish to learn the science of mind. To share more about what it means to be a trustee, here is a video from one of our trustees, Lawrence Edwards.
Hi. I have the opportunity to share with you my joy of being a board member for the Center for Spiritual Living. Well, first and foremost, it's an opportunity for me to be able to see the depth of love, of heart, of consideration, of thought, of care that goes into the decisions in making the center the highest and the best that it can possibly be for every individual that walks through that door. I love the opportunity to see and to witness the conversation, the communication on what it's going to take in order to reach that. I love the interaction that I get to have with the other board members as far as the gifts and talents that they bring. I love the camaraderie amongst the board. I love it when we get together and we get to share our food and our drinks, and we meet once a month and we get to share with one another about just our own lives and the relationships that we form there are deep in there. I get to see kind of behind the curtains, like with Linda and what she does, and with Mitzi and what the intention team does, and what the stewardship team does, and what's happening with the kids. And you know, it's exciting to see what is happening at the center, but it's even as exciting to see what is being planned, what is being thought about, what is being dreamed of, what is being anticipated, what is being put out there, and also to be able to see the demonstrations that come back, the demonstrations that come back from you, the demonstrations that come back from the prayers and the hearts and the desires of having this place be a place that we can call home. I guess the reason I love the most about being a board member is to be able to participate in providing a space that when people walk through that door, they feel loved, they feel accepted, and they feel at home. Thank you.
Thank you, Lawrence, so much for sharing your passion for our community. And thank you to our entire Board of Trustees for the care and the love that you share with us every single day. And you can find out more about what our Board of Trustees do, which is quite a lot, at our table out in the social hall after service today. We would now like to extend a very warm welcome to our first-time visitors. If it's your first time here, would you please stand as you're able or raise your hand? We'd like to bring you a flower and a welcome packet as a token of our gratitude for joining us today. We got someone way in back, Karen or Mitzi. I know that somewhere in the music, meditation, prayer practices, and Reverend Ruth's message today, you will find exactly what you need for the next step of your spiritual unfoldment. Please know you are very welcome here. I invite you to sit back and relax and enjoy some music before a short time of silent contemplation and prayer.
This is call and response. I think you've heard it before. I look forward to hearing you sing back. Still my mind, be at peace, in my awakening, I release, with my heart, free my soul, in my Shanti, Om Shanti. As I love, as I love, as I give, in my awakening, I choose to live, give me strength, shine your light, in my awakening, clear my sight, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti.
There is only one life, expansive and spacious. It is whole and complete. It is in, as, through, and surrounding all. It is the one source, the one power, the one creator from itself, which has created all kinds of formations, and at the same time is the divine essence that flows through each one of us, uniting each person, each sentient being, with the Creator itself, with the divine itself, as one. It is love infusing all balance and beauty and harmony. It is simply that wholeness that is holding us together as one community. It is called divinity, it is called God, it is called spirit, but whatever name it goes by, it knows the highest good for each one of its beings. I am one of those beings, as is each person in this sanctuary and beyond. Each of us, given the spark of divinity in us, walks through the world as community, as diversity, as individual expressions, making the world a more probable place, a more peaceful place for everyone to live. I speak my word this morning for this service, that the community under this roof and beyond creates a world that simply is the best. Through the music, through the announcements, through the prayer, through the message, through each of us sitting as individuals creating one whole, we accept and we know that that life is whole and perfect. I give great thanks for this time today, knowing the realization of life. And I simply release this word into the law, which always acts as it is directed. And together we say, and so it is. Good morning. My name is Peggy Weber, and I'm a prayer practitioner here. Please join me with saying the affirmation that is behind me on the board. My mind is a center of creative expression within the mind that creates all, and so it is.
What do I do if I'm not chasing anything? What do I do if I've got everything that I need? It's a question that no one's prepared me to answer. Where do I go if I'm right where I'm supposed to be? Where do I go if wherever I am I'm at home? It's a question I'm presently wanting to answer. If the usual way doesn't work for me now, there's a void I know nothing about. What if the race is over and we all automatically win? What if the game is ended long before it even begins? What if the test has been taken and we're all passing again and again? If the race is over, what then? What do I say if it's all perfect anyway? What do I say if I'm not here to change anyone? It's a question I truly don't know how to answer. And how do I live if my life is eternity? How do I live if I'm no longer afraid to die? It's a mystery, no one can give me the answer. If the usual way doesn't work anymore, there's no map for what life has in store. What if the race is over and we all automatically win? What if the game is ended long before it even begins? What if the test has been taken and we're all passing again and again? If the race is over, what then? And what is the purpose of time here on earth? How do I now define my death and birth? For that matter, what is my life really worth in the end? What's mine to give? What's mine to receive? Whom do I worship? What do I believe? Seems every answer comes right back to me in the end. What if the race is over and we all automatically win? What if the game is ended long before it even begins? What if the test has been taken and we're all passing again and again? If the race is over and we're all born victorious, if the race
That is amazing. Chris and I usually have a conversation before we do a service together, and he asked me, well, what are you actually talking about? Even though I only ever really talk about one thing. And this week he sent me a recording of this song, and he said, this is what I'm going to start with. And I'm like, this couldn't be more perfect. Thank you. Can we give some more love to Chris and the band? I love all those questions that song asks of us. What do we do? Where do we go? What is ours to say? I love this idea when the words say, we're already perfect. It points us home to what is already here. This question that we are asking this morning, what is the point anyway? Strangely enough, I've been hearing people say this for the last couple weeks over and over again. It's like, oh, it's showing up everywhere. And it's never spoken as an inquiry. What is this about? It's always a point of frustration, exasperation, overwhelm. What is the point anyway? And it's a talk title that I feel really personally attached to. I picked this date a year ago, and there was no title assigned, and usually I picked by title. And so when this title showed up for the week I chose, I thought, oh, this couldn't be more perfect. I've landed exactly where I'm supposed to be. Because this is a question I lived with as a young child growing up in the South. You know this about me, unchurched in the Bible Belt. I grew up in the time of the civil rights movement, or we could say in racism, fully in full-blown expression in the South. And it was hard for me as someone who had no church, no God, to be in my family, to be in my culture community where everybody was talking about God and everybody was being nice. And yet there was this atmosphere of separation, division, hatred. It was a dark time growing up in that world for me. And that question of what is the point? What is the point anyway? Lived with me and took me on my early search, not a search for a religion, but a search for understanding. Not a belief to take on, but a really deep knowing of what is going on. What is this really about here? And life answered that call for me. Now, some of you might be sitting out there hoping I'm going to give you the answer to this question. Yes, sorry. This teaching that we speak so beautifully, these beautiful words and these affirmations, and God, whatever that is, God wants only our good. And I think, what is the real truth under all of this? For me, who has always been somebody who was a contemplative, who always looked inside, who always questioned and inquired. It's one of my strengths, and for some people, it might be one of my afflictions. I question everything. I look at everything. I want to understand the underneath of it. So we say these nice quotes. Reverend Russ quoted Ernest Holmes talking about our fullness and our joy. And my mind goes to, and what of those who aren't in joy? That's a great deal of people in this world. What about when we're not in fullness? Because when I read Ernest Holmes and read the textbook, from beginning to end. And I'm not saying that as a bragging. I'm saying that as an invitation and a suggestion. There is so much that we don't talk about that's in this teaching and understanding of this man. And I go back to his teaching again and again when I speak. And when I was a teacher here, because he knew something. Not from his study, and he studied everything, and he read everything, the world religions and the science and psychology. He was really questioning and looking and discovering, exploring. But he also had a deep knowing, what he calls that spiritual experience. He says in the textbook, this is not a teaching of getting. In all you're getting, get understanding. But he takes it further and he says, open to spiritual experience. Not just the idea, not just the words, not just the teaching, but to actually open to that presence of life. I feel very blessed to have had the experiences I've had in life, and I attribute it to that same intelligence that supports all of us. In Peggy's prayer, she said, God wants only our good. Well, God is, that one thing is, that one source is our life just as it is. That goodness, that wholeness, that perfection isn't ever missing. And so looking at these questions, can I know this truth in the midst of? Some of you know this, and I've spoken about this before, that I'm a Giants fan. And for any of you who don't know, the Giants have not been pretty this year. And I have a friend that I watch the games with, and we spend the time. It kind of keeps our spirits up, I think, complaining about our players because they've been horrible. And we question whether we should keep watching these games that create so much stress in our bodies. And at one point, I actually had this realization. It's like, oh, the reason it's so stressful is because we expect our team to win. But all teams don't win. In any game, there's always a loser. In any division, there's always a seller team. And in life, there's always those moments of high and low, are there not? Now, if you're out there celebrating all the time and your life is nothing but glory to greater glory, God bless. Wonderful, celebrate, rejoice. Share your good and your happiness and your joy and your love. But most of us experience all of it, do we not? Last week, Edward told a story of being with his friend Louis McKenzie, who was a dear friend of mine. And he talked about how they were having coffee together and they were teasing each other about beliefs that they held. And it's like, well, you're not going to get that with that belief. You might have heard that talk last week. Ernest Holmes talked about looking at our belief systems, those limited ideas and thoughts that keep us constrained to old ideas and stories and pictures. The old patterning that we learned as young children. This is how much good you can have. This is how much love you can have. Those are the pictures that are already wired into us. And so he invites us to look, where are those limited thoughts and beliefs? Because life is so much more than our limited thinking. But he also says, the greatest belief that we hold, that belief that we fully accept, is that we're separate. We all see that. We celebrate our separateness. Even though Ernest Holmes says we're not individuals at all, that we're all that one life. Unique we are. Celebrate your uniqueness. But separate we're not. not separate from each other, and not separate from life itself. I read recently, and I don't know how accurate this number is, and it's just one way of ascertaining creation, but it was talking about the odds of the one egg out of many joining with the one sperm out of many, I mean many, to come together to create the unique you. The odds of you being your uniqueness right now is 1 in 400 trillion. And here we are. I want to know what's special about me, what my purpose is. And what I want to respond back to that question is, we are the miracle of life in expression. What more do we need? Why our unique good? Why our special position in life? Last time I was here, I spoke of a pain I was having that was keeping me from walking. 3 months, I could not go on a hike. That was a lot for me. And so I had to sit with that question, who am I if I'm not a hiker? I've been hiking all my life. And at first it felt like, what's the point anyway? I don't want to do this. But I kept looking deeper and deeper. Who am I? Who are we when we're struggling? Who are we when we're diagnosed or laying on our deathbed? Who are we? What is our value at any point in time? And I had to put away that identity and that value of life, that life is about reaching the top of the mountain. And recognize all that was here. After 3 months of enduring this and sitting with this and Googling, and I found multiple problems that this could be coming from. And at some point, I just gave in. I went to see this healer that I had heard about that has done amazing work with friends of mine. And I went to see her because I had so many indications of what could be going wrong. And she's somebody that puts her hands on bodies and she reads what's happening. And so I went and did a session with her. And after the session, she said, stay open. And so I sat with, what does that mean for me to stay open around this? Because I know as a minister, but just as a person, that we don't always heal everything. Is anybody experiencing that as we get older, things don't always get better and better? Is anybody else? And so I knew that. And so I recognized in this openness that I had to put down my story completely. I had to withdraw from this agonizing, suffering self that I talked about last time I was here. Put down the focus on the pain and my resentment and my resistance and wanting things to be different. I wanted God to change what was happening because what was happening just wasn't godly enough for me. And then I recognized that I couldn't hold on to and grasp what I thought should happen. That openness wasn't about this is going to happen and this is going to be the result. That's not open. That's me mentally configuring or determining already what the infinite's supposed to do for me. And so I really practiced being open right here. Just staying open to what is right here. That really is the core of our teaching, that the infinite is right here. Ernest Holmes says he's not teaching and bringing forth this teaching for what's going to happen in the future. Not only after we die in these mortal bodies, but tomorrow. That this teaching is about the fullness, the wholeness, the perfection of the one right here, not missing. No matter what we're experiencing. that we don't have an ability to really see what's good and bad, that this is life. When he spoke of in the chapter on successful living in the textbook, what the purpose of life is, he said, we're not here to make an impression on the world at all. It doesn't matter whether we make an impression. If anybody remembers us, what matters is that while we're living, we live. And as I keep reading him, I know that what he's talking about when he says to live doesn't mean to go have a good life and vacation and follow your bucket list. It's okay to do those things. Those are great things. But to live is to be awake right here in the midst. To be fully present here. I hear about our joy in us getting what we want and how it's the fulfillment of that joy in us and that love in us. And I think about last year when I sat with my two dear friends as they were dying. I sat with them every day, back and forth between one and another, and how full that time was. Not joyous. Just full and present and alive in that process of being with them as their bodies died. There was a lot of grief. There was a lot of laughter. There was a lot of love. Now, I know that some people, and some of you sitting out here, come in and you have a purpose or you have been called to a purpose. We talk about callings or gifts or talents that draw you forth. I think about the great minds, the scientists of this world and the great artists, the composers and the painters who spoke of that greater source of life that informed them in their work. So if you have a purpose and you have a calling to you, great, go for it. Live that fully. But if you're struggling with what's the point, or you're looking to what's my purpose, I want to tell you that the very vitality of your life as you are right now is the miracle of life. And what I know about life is that it is that expresses through us, not separate to anything. So it is what moves our feet. It is what guides and directs us. It is what opens before us. When I spoke of Chris coming up with this song, I always attribute it to Chris's openness. There's a syncing up with that intelligence that guides us, all right? Do you know that in your life? You've certainly experienced it when things just fit together. I know that when Chris is on the stage that the right music's going to come forth. We want to trust that that rightness is in us. It's not assigned to special people, and it's not only given to us when we're in our good times and our high times in life. It's always here. So what is the point anyway? It is life itself. And it is right here in this moment. Every teaching in the world points us back to this greater source and points us back to what's here already. It is that heaven within spoken of in the Bible. It is that mindfulness spoken of in Buddhism. It's our ground of being. This tonight is the lunar eclipse. And now we know that as the shadow crosses the moon, which we won't see here, when the shadow crosses the moon during the eclipse, we know that the light of the moon doesn't go away, do we not? That during the phases in the eclipse, the full moon is always fully there. We also know that the light of the moon is just a reflection of the sun, that it's not generating its own light. And that's what's so for us. Those shadows that we cast before us, There are our identities. They're our sense of separate self. They don't take away ever the wholeness of our being. And that light that we talk about shining, it comes from that greater source of life. And that greater source of life is where you are always. I had an experience not long ago. I was coming home from one of my talks up in Mendocino and driving through the Anderson Valley, and I went to dinner with some friends when I got home. And I had had a full day, and I was filled up. I felt grounded and felt good. And sitting at dinner, one of my friends starts talking about, oh, you know, the only challenge I have is that inner critic inside me, and it criticizes me and makes me wrong or bad. And my two other friends started in this, we love you. You know you're loved. You're so loved. And my friend that was sitting beside me came in not long after and said, well, you know, I'm always really quiet when we get together, but I have that same voice inside. And my friends all gather together. We love you. You know we always love you. And then the third woman, she said, well, you know, I can be bothersome. And everybody chimed in, we love you. You know we always love you. That night when I was at home alone, I thought, well, everybody got that love fest but me. And I could feel the feelings behind that. I could feel that young voice of, you're the unwanted one. You're the unlovable one. You're the bad one. I could feel it wanting to take rise over me. And I was so grateful when this awareness popped in of, Ruth, that's just a thought. That's just a thought that you're having. You weren't having a hard time. You didn't need an outer affirmation. You were already in your wholeness. I'm inviting you to inquire in to those voices, to notice those thoughts that become the shadow over our light. Yes, we always want to be happy. We always want to win the game. But even sitting on the bench, even in our hard times, that light, that miracle of life is fully present. It's holding us. It's being us without judgment. We are made out of it. And so that's really the practice. Is that coming home? One of the lyrics in the song, what if I'm always home wherever I go? We are always home. We are always right here, and right here that fullness of life is. I got a chance to talk to a spiritual teacher. People called him a master. And I was sitting at his feet, literally. He was this Indian master in white, and he said, I want your burning questions. And that was the question I asked him. What is the point? If we come from consciousness and we go back to consciousness, why this? And he looked at me as he was answering this question, and I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden everything dropped away, and I was just in this sea of being. We live in this sea of being. It was free. I can't even put words on the experience of it. But when I became aware of the room around me and I saw him finishing answering my question, I realized, oh, we have never left that one consciousness. We don't ever leave it. It's here. And then I thought, well, I guess if I ever need to know the answer, I'll find out. But you know, I don't need a mental answer anymore. Because beyond human understanding, there is this oneness. Those are the words of Ernest Holmes. It's beyond our human understanding, and it's always right here. I was here yesterday for a memorial of Joe Lauer. She was an angel on this earth. She's someone who was highly principled and lived her principle with love everywhere she was and everything she did. And her daughter during the service spoke the words. Well, somebody quoted her, the daughter, when Joe had done something very precious for a friend of hers. And the daughter said, well, that's what love does. Ernest Holmes, our founder, said, if you knew that you were one with all life, wouldn't you be a little kinder? Wouldn't you be a little more generous? I'm inviting you home to that awareness that we absolutely are held, supported, sustained in every moment, in every breath, in every condition, no matter what our thoughts and feelings are, one with this one. And it is this that guides us. It is this that unfolds step by step by step through us. It's right here, right now. So I invite you to come home with me in this we call prayer. This opening and aligning in conscious awareness with a oneness beyond all human perception. Beyond all perception of this, that, good, bad. It simply is fully present. And so I know it is that which I am, that has brought me to prayer and praise through me as me. For there is no me in life. There is life being this unique expression. And I know it as the truth of each and every one here. Nothing can separate us from this truth. It is our source, it is our life, it is our very breath. It is the ground beneath us, and it is that guides and opens the way in every moment, every step, in all that is ours to know, to speak, and to do. And so we come home in conscious awareness of this one. We open beyond any old idea, story, belief. We open anew, not grasping, reaching, but simply opening to that wholeness, that perfection, that home right here. And knowing it is turning anew in this moment. Through each and every one, through this world, brand new. I simply let go in great gratitude for this knowing. And I simply let it be. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Ruth, for that beautiful message. I invite us all to take a nice deep breath, breathing in. Let out a big sigh. We use our breath to help us to transition to our practice of spiritual circulation here at the center. And one of the reasons that this community exists in the way that it does is because of your generous financial gifts that we're always very grateful for. So if you choose to give financially today, we have a number of ways that you can give. You can give online on our website. We have text to give, and we will pass the baskets today. So I invite our ushers to stand and to hold our space as we enter into our offering ritual. And I invite you to hold your gift close to your heart and repeat after me. I bless my gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. It does wonderful work in the world. Ushers, please receive the gift. Thank you again for all the gifts that you share. And can we give some more love to Trey and Chris and Brett and Nick and Fran? Letting there be room for not knowing is the most important thing of all. When there's a big disappointment, we don't know if that's the end of the story. It may just be the beginning of a great adventure. Life is like that. We don't know anything. We call something bad, we call it good, but we really just don't know. And this piece of wisdom is from Pema Chodron's book, When Things Fall Apart. And you can explore it with practitioner Jan Swoboda this Saturday, September 13th. So it's coming right up. You'll want to sign up right away. And in this class, you're going to learn how you can tap into the present moment, accepting what is and what is not, so that you can build the resilience that you need to carry you through any situation. Now, at the root of consciousness is awareness, that core of us that experiences the world. And that essence of us, it's naturally calm and creative and courageous and connected. But sometimes the turbulence of life can make it hard to feel that connection. So that's why Reverend Tara Steele is sharing a class called Deepening Awareness, and that is starting on Thursday, September 25th on Zoom, and you can join her in that to see just how deep your awareness goes. Here's a hint, there's no limit to it. Now, I know that finding one's path in life can be challenging, and sometimes it feels like life is full of static and chaos and distractions and confusion, and I know that it doesn't have to feel that way. When we can learn to live with vision, what happens is we tap into an intuition that's already within us that can guide us despite any distractions that are going on in life. And this is a power that you can learn for yourself with practitioner Tamira Hume. That's starting on Saturday, September 27th on Zoom. And in this class, she is going to guide you through the visioning process so that you can find that intuition within you and unlock your inherent wisdom. Now, it's easy for me to say, every single day that I walk into this community, I feel gratitude. And there's a power in that gratitude. For me, gratitude is like jet fuel for the soul. It enhances and uplifts every aspect of my life, and it can do that for you too. And it is especially helpful for me to have that gratitude in times of stress and heartache. And that's why I'm sharing a brand new workshop with us called Rewiring Your Mind with Gratitude. And that's happening on Sunday, September 28th. And in this workshop, we'll learn gratitude practices that can transform the mind and strengthen our spirit. So all of these classes and workshops are available in our education catalog that you can get at the info desk and on our website. And all of these classes can be signed up for on our website. Now, sharing our bounty has been going on for many years here at our center, and it's back not this Sunday, sorry. It's back on Sunday, September 21st, and this year we're emphasizing plants, plant starts, seeds, and flowers. Now, of course, if you have fresh produce that you'd like to share as well, you're more than welcome to bring that, because I know also being in our community that we always have hungry people. And so that will go over very well. So everything that you bring, we give away to the community. You don't have to bring anything to take something home. Just bring a bag with you, and you can take as many flowers and plant starts and seeds and produce home with you. So we're looking forward to that. Okay, please know that community does not have to end today. We offer on Wednesdays a Wednesday evening service that happens at 7 p.m. I see some of my Wednesday evening people in here. And in this service, we continue our spiritual inspiration and community together. We also have music from Christopher with us. And we're studying in the next 10 weeks one of Ernest Holmes' lesser-known books called Basic Ideas of Science of Mind. So if you're looking for a refresher or you're brand new, this is a really wonderful opportunity for you to dive into the basic ideas of Ernest Holmes in our beautiful community. All right, that's all I have for announcements today. If something is challenging you right now, if you are having a hard time and you would like spiritual support, or if you'd like somebody to simply affirm something beautiful that's happening in your life right now, please take advantage of our after-service prayer. If you are watching online, there is a link that you can go to that will let you have a free confidential prayer with one of our prayer practitioners. You can also, if you're in the room, go back and talk to Joyce in the white table in the corner, and she'll direct you to one of our prayer practitioners who would be more than happy to pray for whatever it is that your heart desires. All right, it's time for us to bring our service to a close, so I invite you to stand as you are able and repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, and I accept it, just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Know with me that you are never alone, that Spirit is right where you are, that you have only to look within at any moment to know that you're guided, sustained, and empowered by a presence that expresses itself as you in this world. In deepest gratitude, let us live our lives accordingly so that in everything that we do and say and think, we honor this presence within. And so it is. Enjoy the closing music. Be sure to check out Pamela Heck's new display in our social hall, and have a wonderful week.
I release, I let go, I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only for God, but no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I said I'm free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only